let's run you through the latest COVID news and Omicron news. India's Omicron count has risen to 140 with 5 more cases being reported in Karnataka. 5 new cases in Omicron take Karnataka's tally to 19, and active cases in the state is currently 16. The Health Minister of Karnataka tweeted the 5 cases being detected in various parts of the state and various ages as well. Now, if we talk about Delhi, well, Delhi reported over 100 cases of coronavirus in 24 hours, which is the highest daily spike in nearly 6 months amid the Omicron scare. In fact, the number of Omicron cases in Delhi is 22. And with 107 new cases, the city also reported one related death, the first in 10 days. Meanwhile, Mumbai reported its highest number of cases since the 10th of November with over 300 cases, at 336 cases being reported. The AIIMS director, Dr. Randeep Guleria, has said that in view of rising COVID cases in the United Kingdom, India should prepare itself for any eventuality. We should prepare and hope that things are not as bad as the United Kingdom. We need more data. Whenever there's a surge in cases in other parts of the world, we need to monitor it closely and be prepared for any eventuality. Well, to talk more about India's COVID situation and the concerns over Omicron, we're joined by Dr. Padma Srivastava, Chief Neuroscience Center, AIIMS, Dr. B.L. Sherwal, Director Microbiology, Safdarjung, and Dr. Rahul Pandit, Member National Task Force, a Member Maharashtra COVID Task Force as well. Thank you so much, doctors, for sparing your time and joining us on the show this morning. Dr. Rahul Pandit, first to you, what do you feel right now? We're waiting and watching. We're still giving a count every day of the Omicron cases, but at some point we're not going to be able to give that clear count, but what is your view of the situation? What do we need to be doing?
Good morning everyone. The situation currently is extremely it's on the cusp of being very, very crucial. At the moment we are sort of counting up cases in single digits or double digits of Omicron variant, and obviously the number of cases overall have slightly increased across the country. And we are worried. I am really worried that if we don't, we have an advantage of the hybrid immunity plus a very strong vaccination program which has gone. If we don't follow this COVID appropriate behavior, we will actually lose that advantage, and then we will have the cases go up in the next few weeks' time. We need to remember that every time UK or US had a spike in the cases, we followed 2 to 3 months down the track. So the history is very, very clear. We need to learn from this pandemic what has transcribed, and we should be very clear that in the month of January, February, we are going to go through testing times, and we need to clamp down our behavior right now. We need to impose all our COVID appropriate restrictions in terms of personal masking, sanitization, trying to avoid crowded spaces right now. I'm not talking about general restrictions for public. Public need to behave in an appropriate way. They need to shoulder their responsibility, take their vaccine and wear the mask. I'm talking about personal restrictions for everyone to take up.
All right, so your safety is in your own hands in a sense. Dr. Sherwal, what is your view? And also, there's still no clear-cut data on just how severe Omicron is vis-a-vis the Delta variant earlier. Now there's a study from Denmark that says it's not as severe as Delta, whereas there are other earlier studies that say something different. So we're still waiting on that, absolute data, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It is a good news that the reports till now are coming that this variant is causing the mild disease, but you never know. We have seen the time of April and May, so we really have to our finger crossed, and we definitely hope that it should be mild. But at the same time, because it have the capacity to escape the vaccination immunity and cause, it is very much infectious as compared to the other variant which we have seen earlier like Delta. So that is a worrisome part because we are, highly populated country, and once it get established here and number of cases which we are now saying as has just Dr. Datta has also said that is single digit or 2 digit, but we are almost at the same time way back in February. I think it was a similar situation, but then you remember the date which is mid-April. I think it was really havoc. So we really don't want to enter into that. And but basic thing is that government is doing wonderful job for vaccination and for other preventive measure, but it is in our own hand. Please, I just through your media, I'll say, please help to contain that COVID, or it is Omicron, and that is the proper uses of the mask. It is not only mask, proper usage of the mask. People otherwise are just hanging the mask in front of the mouth, not wearing it properly for which it is asked for, and not unnecessarily go to the crowded area, not unnecessarily make travel program. So this is a really situation where we all have to contribute, and just not look for the government to whatever they have done. I think each and every individual need to be part of the containment plan.
No, absolutely. And, Dr. Srivastav, if we talk about our vaccination so far, on one hand, there's a clamor for booster shots. There's also clamor for children to get vaccinated, because it seems this Omicron also spreads. I mean, given that it is very infectious, it's going to spread among children who remain unvaccinated. We already have cases from Karnataka in which two, people under the age of 18 have been found to be infected with Omicron in one of the clusters that broke out in an educational institution. But at the same time, our overall vaccination, while we say it's great, and, we have these records that we've achieved, daily records, but overall it's still, under 50% that people have received both shots of the vaccine. So we need a big push on that front. And it seems to not like there's no talk of any new vaccines right now coming in like it used to be earlier in September, October, when we were very, anticipating new vaccines. So a big push needs to be given on that front.
Yes, Kagi. And let me bring another point out here. Yes, there's a lot of talk about this Omicron being very mild. It only produces a mild symptomatology. And there's also talk, coming from South Africa. There are certain researchers who feel that this is going to take over Delta variant, and that's a good thing to happen, so on and so forth. But let me just bring it a little bit of a caution out here. When Delta variant also first appeared, there were similar lines of thought. They also said that it is more transmissible because of certain mutations, and it may not produce a very severe illness, and that quickly changed. So this virus, we continue to be on a learning curve, and at this point I think we are existing essentially on a hope and prayer. Because when you talk of immunization, it's of course very important that we get the 70% both dose vaccinated. But said that, the booster dose is also probably going to be built into the primary immunization itself because of the waning of immunity. And remember, it's not just against an Omicron. We also need a protection against the Delta variant, which is still there. And therefore, when you're looking at 107 cases in Delhi, and you have 22 cases of Omicron, that leaves about 80 cases of Delta variant. So we also need protection there. And we know Delta variant is serious. So I think it has to be a very holistic approach, apart from what both the doctors have said, that our COVID appropriate behavior and our personal and the citizens' own responsibility to remain cautious and take care is absolutely essential and mandatory. At the same time, we also need a war footing in terms of research into tweaking the vaccines. It's just not Omicron. We don't know what more mutations may come. Maybe a holistic kind of the entire video in irrespective of what mutations can happen, target them. The second is, of course, the immunity which you get after the infection, what happens to that and what that is going to do in protection against Omicron. There are a lot of unanswered questions. But yes, I think the first thing, be vigilant, cautious, and that's a citizen's responsibility. Number two is that we definitely need to boost up that 70% immunization and also start, I guess, giving boosters to the vulnerable population, because they need to be protected again, even against the Delta variant. And number three, I think also ramp up the research facility and maybe more better vaccines. And I think that's already ongoing, and there's a lot of hope on that. I'm sure when they got it done in a year's time, I'm sure they will be doing for this as well. But
All right. Dr. Rahul Pandit, do you feel we are better prepared now after what we went through in the second wave? Should there be a spike in cases? Should there be surges? And we'll probably see the surges in different parts of the country at different times. But do you think we are now better prepared in terms of oxygen, in terms of know-how, in terms of how to deal with the illness?
Gargi, we are definitely better prepared than what we were before. And that is already showing us, the results are already being seen to us. We are doing more genome sequencing than what we were doing a year ago. That is the reason why our public health department is able to identify these variants quickly. I am not saying that we are identifying all the variants 100%, but a majority of them have been identified reasonably well from the people who have at least had travel history or a contact history from traveling people. In terms of our infrastructure for oxygen capacity across the country, each state and the government of India have actually helped to ramp up the PSA plants as well as the liquid oxygen plants. The beds have been kept on a ready mode, so that in case we need to increase our capacity to fill up the beds, we will be able to do that at a short notice. Also, one important thing which has happened is that we have learned in the second wave that how to care for these patients at home. And if Omicron is going to give us mild illness, the way to go forward would be to actually have home care as the primary reason for patients to be cared who don't require hospitalization for any support. And that would help us ease the infrastructure a little bit and continue with the non-COVID patients who are in the hospital right now. Well, unlike the first two waves where the non-COVID patients actually did not come into the hospital, now the hospitals are full up with these patients. Just one more word of caution. While we say that this new variant Omicron is maybe doubly transmissible, but half or maybe 1/4 as lethal as or as severe as the Delta variant, remember that our population makes these dynamics work in a different way.
Absolutely.
If we have 10 lakh people active cases in the country, and if we only have 1% patients who are admitted, we are still requiring to have thousands of beds, 10,000 to be precise, to be actually looking after these patients. So we need to be very cautious because our population dynamics are different.
No, absolutely. So different to anywhere in Europe. Thank you so much, doctors. And really, people need to think about the doctors, because I can imagine there's fatigue among people about, with the restrictions, and they want to go out. But at the same time, it must be you doctors and frontline workers who are dreading the thought even of another wave of coronavirus infections in the country. Thank you so much for taking out your time and joining us on the program this morning.